Hi, this is RGK. I'm showing you Icebox Speedgunners. And I didn't get it wrong, it's not speedrunners, even though you do speedrun in this game, but you also do it with big guns, such as this nice rocket launcher. Yellow box ammo, green sphere, health. Another one here. I'm gonna open the door by shooting the switch. I could just press my body against it, but shooting lets you gain some time. Then use the railgun to shoot through walls or multiple targets with one single shot. Pretty effective. You can see enemies in the distance thanks to the lens flare, so you're not surprised when suddenly they come to your face. Here you can anticipate. Now I'm gonna use the chain gun. Look at this, lovely. Pretty surprising, the feeling of the weapons is good for a speedrunning game. No slow motion. You can also use slow motion to get back to the level if you fell off the ledge. Allows you to fly a little bit. And it costs 100 ammo. The rocket launcher is 10 ammo, and just a basic bullet from a small gun like this one is like 1 or 2. No, this is a strong gun, 2. So it's important because this is a speedrunning game with leaderboards and scoring, which means that you have less points if you use up all your ammo. Okay, now I'm gonna unlock the next part of the level. Something interesting about this game is that you need to unlock something to see the level. Here, nothing, but then I open the door and the level builds itself. This is interesting because it means that some players cannot use big shortcuts to bypass the whole game, basically. Let's have a quick look at the options. So the graphics, it's on good. I played 120 frames per second on fantastic usually, but for the recording I had to decrease a bit. Separate sliders for audio, pretty nice. Controls, you can change everything except the weapons, which is a shame because, you know, the mouse wheel is not the fastest when you want to go to a specific weapon, and the keys 1, 2 and so on, it's the same hand as movement keys, so it's not very practical. Okay, here you can switch to Zen Mode, no enemies. God Mode, you're invincible. So if you just want to have some fun without having to think too much, but you also have some game modes like this is Arena for fights. It's procedurally generated, so you can find different seeds. Difficulty changes like a square around enemies or the damages you receive. And you have lots of different game modes, like super jump. You can jump a lot without any limitations. Here, this is the main campaign, and the levels are not procedurally generated, they're handcrafted, and the marathon is all of them together. And here, daily challenge or monthly challenge. You can find a lot of different things to all sort of tastes, which is a clear positive. Something I particularly enjoy about the fact that you can see up ahead, like the red lens flare of the enemies, the lady telling you that there are falling platforms, or the arrows showing that you're gonna have to take a turn to the right or left and so on, is that you can clearly anticipate your path and the obstacles and the fights, and so you can prepare yourself and react accordingly without losing pace, without being surprised and no, I'm dead, I didn't know that was coming. Here that's not the case at all, which creates a sense of flow, like in Hotline Miami for instance. Hotline Miami, you know level very well, and then you can just go through the mission and enjoy the trance. Here it's sort of the same, which I appreciate a lot, and it's different from games like Lovely Planet, in which you have to learn by heart the location of every single thing, memorize when you're gonna turn, where you're gonna aim and so on. Here there is more leeway, and it's also more accessible than games like Quake Defrag and these sort of high skill based movements. These games are very difficult, and usually, I mean, if you just casual gamer, you can maybe do one level, the introduction, and then you're stuck if you don't spend hours practicing. This one you can enjoy straight away. Well, the first level was a bit difficult because the basic gun is not powerful enough, but then once you start to get good weapons, it just flows really well, very enjoyable. Which is sort of surprising. It's a speedrunning game that is also relaxing, but it means that it's very accessible. If you're doing the level for the first time, it lasts for a few minutes, but you can still do it in 1 or 2 tries. But then, if you want to get a high score, that's when you're gonna have to practice a lot more, do it over and over, find the best route, know exactly which weapon to use at which moment, and so on. And you still get more because the game is procedurally generated, so even if you know perfectly well a few levels, you always have new levels to find. Although it's a bit slightly repetitive, it's always the same flow, you always have the same sort of obstacle that you can deal with pretty easily. So it's not the most challenging speedrunning game in a way, but it's very enjoyable. For instance, I played Cluster Truck. Cluster Truck had a lot of variety, it was not repetitive because you had all sort of obstacles, levels and so on, but it wasn't enjoyable because every wrong move and the physics of the game would screw you and make you go in a direction you didn't anticipate, and it wasn't a very enjoyable experience. While in here, it's nice, it flows well. So depends what you're looking for in a speedrunning game. If you want like an accessible one, this is totally for you. If you want a high skill-based defrag with very difficult movements, this is not going to be for you, but this one is nice. You move very quickly, you have some shooting and so on. I appreciated my time with you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.